Hey, good morning. Good morning. It is Christian with Super Trucker Podcast. What's going on, my people? This show is for owner operators and first time owner operators. What we do is gather information across our social media platform and deliver the news live 9 a.m. or rather answer all our questions as well. So today's topic a little bit different, man. I just want to say I think being successful in trucking is a moving target. And so for all my first time owner operators who are listening, this is what I actually mean. So number one, trucking definitely is a volatile business, right? You're gonna have seasonalities in it, depending on the type of your work that you're doing. It's always changing and evolving. And in the recent last few months, for sure, especially everything that you're hearing with this non-domicile stuff going on, English proficiency tests, especially that, right? There's a lot of talk about these type of effects and these new regulations, and they're honing in on it is going to move the needle as far as capacity. Mass exodus of the industry, and although true, I don't think necessarily it's happening as fast as people would think. We kind of talked about that on a previous show, talked about that segment. However, like I said, moving target. There's this completely unfortunate event that transpired. Got a 21-year-old guy from Cali, you know, uh, Mr. Singh here, actually has caused an accident, and there's a dash cam video, and this thing hit the internet. He's an illegal truck driver, high on drugs, uh, causing a fatality of 3 people. So now, not so much going to talk about just that, but the aftermath, right? That's just an unfortunate news. Wish that never happened. People shouldn't be getting hurt and losing their lives. But however, we're here. And so what I think this event is going to happen, my people, is, let's start with the top of the list, right? How is this going to actually amplify the speed of regulations to come? Because it's only a matter of time before this news gains freaking traction and is going to actually affect a lot of things in regulation. So we have been saying it is not just the state regulation that is going to be the problem. It is not just uh, what a carrier or DOT is going to implement and so forth, but also you know uh, states are probably now going to have to start scrubbing their files to see who should not be having that license and getting them probably revoked or downgraded sooner than later. I think there is going to be an increase in accountability for that. Even the English proficiency test, even if that kind of was fizzling out already, guys, this event is going to just relight that fire, and I think it's going to be widespread. So not only on the state levels that I feel that they're going to feel the pressure from the federal side to actually start scrubbing their files. And how do you get this done quicker than just kind of sitting back and allowing these licenses to expire? Right, because you kind of almost wanted to they stopped issuing them, which is one thing, but that doesn't solve the complete problem. The other thing that is happening is you actually how do you get the current ones that are valid out there on the road off of the road because of stuff like this? I think they're going to use this as my dude is done, man. This guy's cooked. This guy is fucking cooked. He is the poster boy. This guy's cooked. So I think that the federal is going to put federal regulation is going to be posting putting that pressure on that state level. So probably buckle up, put your seatbelts on. I think the next phase of this is going to start to implement. As we speak, they're probably in some kind of think tank and on how to turn the pressure up. And unfortunately, yes, a lot of that regulation and collateral damage that comes with that is going to affect a lot of carriers, right? Because we obviously know the blame game, but even in this event right now, right? So let's talk even insurance for 1 second. This right here, just you watch this video, you watch this dash cam video and everything that is around this right now, man. This is a nuclear verdict already. You don't have to see anything else. Like, this is a fucking, somebody get the checkbook out. Like, this is going to bury a lot of people. And so now what leads to that is the insurance companies, if they're not already, they are for sure going to be right after they catch wind of this, creating non that, now from their end and that pressure, even though guys may have valid licenses, I think they're going to start scrubbing their files and seeing what drivers are under the insurance and making them uninsurable, forcing the hand of, even though they're running around with a valid license, they're either, your premium is going to reflect that how this guy is on your roster, or they're just not, he's not even insurable as is, right? They're just not going to do it because of what's going to happen next in a situation like this. There's even right now, like, some cases out there, regarding, like, pausing, like, this targeting of non-domicile, where, people have a right to earn. So class action suit on that. But I think all of that is going to be brought to a halt because of this. This just serves as a reminder to people, and not just that, guys. When this is going to hit social media again, it's going to amplify. It's going to cause these insurance companies to look harder. Nobody wants to be the insurance company that gets this clean. That is an astronomical, loss to them. The loss runs on something like that. This is going to go beyond their control. So not only do I think that the insurance companies are going to turn up the heat, they're going to start, I think they're actually going to start actually checking that out and scrubbing their files to see who is non-insurable. And I think carriers are going to start getting love letters from insurance companies that, hey, these people probably have to drop. If not, your insurance will be canceled. You pick. And so now you're forcing the hand on that end. And so remember, it's not just that. I think there's going to be a lot of carriers that their hand is going to be forced as well, because imagine you're giving this guy an opportunity and you're the one doing that. There's a couple things that are going to be a little bit unfair. So again, like, I'm all about, uh, that drug-free environment and all that. We are, got the MRO. We do everything straight legit. But this guy did a personal choice. The carrier didn't put whatever drugs in him. Like, this guy did that personal choice, right? But nevertheless, the carrier is going to own some of that responsibility to that. So a lot of carriers, I feel, are going to start reinventing the way they are hiring drivers. Reinventing the way that guys are getting qualified, because your exposure to something, your exposure, the exposure that you're going to have in something like this is, imagine that, man. Imagine you're a freaking 20-year-old company and everything you've been building is literally gone overnight. I feel like in a situation like this, freaking chameleon carriers, there's nowhere to hide. They're fucking coming for these people. Like, they are coming for you. Like, this is literally, you are going to be a target. So we got insurance companies that are probably going to reinvent their processes to eliminate this kind of exposure to them as a liability. Just forget about the political game on that. They're just the exposure to it. Good morning, Timothy. How you doing? All right, JVC. If the government doesn't force brokers and insurance, no change is going to make the difference. Yeah, but I think this is going to actually force that hand, on at least on the insurance side, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and trust me, accidents happen all the time. What I'm just saying is, like, this bad boy is amplified, and given the climate that's out there, like, I even think audits, you're probably going to see an uptake in audits on carriers, because they already know, man. Like it's insanity. Like, even everybody knows about highway and all that. They freaking got VIN numbers, names, birthday, like. Everything is so public that's out there. It's insane. So I do think that DOT, you're probably going to see an uptake in audits that are going to be handed out. How they'll do that strategy, not sure, but I think something else is going to be dropping. So again, how this will affect capacity is we got to wait to see what happens. for those guys who are doing stuff legit and pretty good and running the business clean, obviously at the end of the day, a drop in capacity we know means a hike up in rates. So you're going to have that, right? You're going to see well, you're gonna see that. That's just natural supply and demand. So I'm just saying, is this going to be happening a lot faster than we anticipated? Because the amount of pressure the state is going to feel from the federal government, we're going to have also insurance companies rethinking, who is allowed to be on the policy. We're going to also have carriers rethinking. We also we're going to be seeing carriers rethinking of what their hiring practices are going to be, and how much vetting they're actually doing. And even maybe in that, I even think maybe they're reinventing the compliance on the DQ, what's in a background check, a VOE, and everything that comes along with that. They're probably going to turn up the heat on that as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to see some new regulation on that. You would just would just kind of be on standby to see what happens next. So we got some comments here. I was out in TA in Oklahoma City and wasn't sure if it was some Punjabi town, Indian, or in the US. All right, so here you go. So we'll see what happens on that, guys, how this is going to impact costs. And also, what is it with this capacity? So do you feel that it's going to move faster? Do you feel that it's not going to make a difference? Let us know in the comments. We definitely want to get your feedback. So here we go. Just wanted to kind of drop the dime on that a little bit. I really think there is going to be a repercussion to something like this. It's going to just amplify the situation. Again, insurance, I think, is going to reinvent the way they're doing it. I actually think that carriers are going to be forced to change the way they source. I also think that DOT is probably going to, come up with some different type of audit and start going for the carriers and kind of seeing what's underneath their skirt to make sure everything is on the up and up. Who knows what's coming next, but I definitely want to buckle up and see what comes next, guys. It's about having a sustainable business. It's about growing. It's about expanding. And I mean, with that, please make sure you like, share, subscribe. Helps the algorithm get this information in front of the right people, especially my first-time owner operators who are even viewing and kind of viewing social media, viewing all these changes. And I'm interested to see. It's either some people see opportunity right now to say, hey man, there's going to be an exodus in capacity, I should jump on in, or is all of this that's going on enough to spook individuals to say, nah man, let me try this at a later date, because it's just so much shit flying around right now and it feel like it's getting overregulated. And they're just going to put their game plan their game plan on pause. So it's out there. That's what we're here to talk about, guys. So if we do have plenty of owner operators, guys. We are 100% owner operator based company. For those guys that are looking for that type of opportunity, definitely give us a call, 863-342-5171. And maybe all of this stuff that's going on actually, is even that. Like some guys are just getting out of that business, as we did talk about Lone Mountain's inventory. We saw a spike on their inventory, a lot of units, but not all in one sector. And so what I mean by that, it's not like they returned 30, international LTs that were from some kind of fleet. Now, man, there were a lot of onesie twosies. So, a few of these, a couple of those, 5 of these. So they're definitely not coming off of major fleets or anything like that. So I wonder if a lot of guys already seen this coming and were like, you know what, man, I need to get out of this landscape because of everything that's transpiring, just, and dumping these trucks. So definitely, I think there's different places to measure how these guys are leaving the industry. And you kind of just saw, and again, I'm speculating. I don't have a crystal ball or anything like that, but when you see a lot of these units go back to Lone Mountain, a lot of it looks like their product that they always have. So I do wonder, man, like, is it just people mass accidents because the liability associated in trucking is just amplifying and increasing? Okay, got a comment here. Opportunity and more regs. We like, and we don't coming in fast. Okay. So yeah, so I definitely think something's gonna change. I bet you guys are in that think tank and something's gonna be coming out. So hey, there's always a margin for improvement, that's for sure. But again, I wonder what's gonna happen next. And it's not like you have mass capacity exit just because of a non-domicile rule. And I know Oklahoma did their thing and all of that, but still, when you look at the capacity that's still out there on the road, again, like there's always that loophole, licenses expiring. So I really think those guys are going to be having that target on them. I think that will impact a lot. So let us know what you think. Put that up in the comments, and make sure you like, share, subscribe. Again, it's not about reporting, be the first to report or anything like that. This is really about, because we're forward thinking company, we're always looking for that long-term success. We're looking for longevity. We're looking to provide a quality service to owner operators out there. It's preparing yourself for what you kind of feel is going to be coming next, right? So are there going to be those insurance premiums? Carriers are also going to be scrubbing their files, right? They're going to be scrubbing what's on there, because you're going to have you could have a good soldier that's been with you for a very long time, but because given the climate that's out there, are these carriers even willing to actually keep these guys on their fleet? So that's another thing that could be coming up pretty soon. And again, if there's carriers out there that half of their fleet is created is not domicile CDLs, are you ready for what's next? I mean, it could be a fender bender and you're going to be on it. All right. So check this out. We got a comment. Imagine you're playing games with a PC a few times a month and get into an accident like that. Your life is fucked. Yeah, agreed. Like this, everything is gonna come out, like all the PC on there, the fucking yard move, the disconnect, the call 1-800 number to get 10 more hours. So like everything that comes with that, like I'm not saying this guy was doing that because I don't know, but if chances are he was, and if it did happen, that's even more to the point. That's even more fire and more fuel to that fire. Like you're cooked. Like this guy is fucking cooked, man. That 21 guy is cooked. So definitely going to be a poster boy for that. And unfortunately, social media moves that way. This is going to have major visibility. They're going to be actually, keeping an eye on this guy. So here we go, guys. I got 10 people watching. Please smash that like button. We need additional likes so that the algorithm could pick up on that and get this content in front of the right people. Definitely appreciate that. That's the way the show moves forward, keeps us inspired to keep them coming. And we'll go from, we definitely want you to subscribe. Super Trucker Podcast, smash the bell icon, and notifies you when we drop videos just like that. All right. So we did have an orientation yesterday. It was pretty interesting. We had an individual, what we say, find his way home. And the beauty behind that is that, it was an opportunity for individuals to grow, right? So when we talked about like that recruiting of different people with those dedicated things, and grass is greener on the other side, and yada. So we spent some time on that. But the beauty behind everything that we're talking about is, recognizing the ability to find out what works for you, recognizing what is the best plan for your business. And that's what it's about. It's about tailoring, that relationship with a dispatcher to find that sweet spot where, how you run home time, right? Them respecting that home time completely, 100%, but while you're out there maxing out. So that's kind of the beauty about it, right? That dispatcher that knows how to hit. So number one, they got to be seasoned on what type of freight they're looking for, right? They got to have that fighting spirit in order to understand that you are the number one customer to them. Right? This is not kicking a can down the road. This is about chess, right? This is about moving you to a strategic area, because the reload that comes out of there absolutely matters. Now, sometimes guys are going to get creative. Sometimes they're going to get creative in the respect of how can we actually figure out how to get you that cash revenue that you need to actually get you to that point where you're making that money based on how you're going to run. So that's the combination. It's about that dispatcher, posting that truck in different types of markets, seeing if he's getting any kind of callbacks. It's also going to be, dealing with the brokers that are calling us because the relationships that have been established, doing a little bit of everything on that nature in order to amplify and grow your business as well. So, and the perks that come along with that, right? The trailers, worry free, serviced by a trailer mechanic who is actually on site. He's on site taking care of that bad boy, making sure that he's actually taking care of that. So here we go, guys. Got a comment here. I guess Aaron Kiss, smash that like button, hit notification bell, fucking loser. Time to grow up, Mr. Gray. All right, man. Where's your show, brother? Where's your contribution? Get off my ass, man. Get off my dick. Stop watching. So here we go. So what else we got? So, right. So we actually have another individual, actually today, it's going to be another orientation. And what this is about people exploring different opportunities. One of the top things that we do and we do offer, guys, the dispatcher is not going to give you what you want to hear. They're going to actually be giving you the opportunity to get an understanding of what the market is really doing. So that is what this is about. So they are not only giving you what you don't want to hear. And I mean that in the way where now you can make better business decisions for yourself. Just because you like a certain area doesn't mean that it's going to pay, right? So no one here is trying to change anybody. No one here is trying to influence an individual to run differently. No one here is trying to talk a guy out of his home time and what should be more valuable and what should not be more valuable. Those are all decisions for the owner operator to make. But what is important is going to be about is the individual should actually start getting the real information so that you can make the better decision on how to navigate in these waters, right? So now that you have the facts in front of you, and remember, when it's facts and they're telling you, hey, this is what the rates are, here's the original rate confirmation, because yes, we absolutely do that every single time. Once you're receiving those rate confirmations, now you have that ability to adapt your business, right? Whether now your business fits within the parameters or you have to make certain adjustments in order to hit that and make, you decide what sacrifices you're going to do. That's up to you, how you run your business. But what you definitely want are the facts. And when you talk about facts don't care about emotions. Facts are facts. And that's what you want to be looking at. So we do have one comment here by Sean. Do any of your drivers have SFI trucks? Do you think that there's a good option? Currently, I don't have any guys on my SFI. We did have a few guys on SFI. The only one thing I want to say that what they didn't like about it was actually a set of teams. And so these teams got a brand new truck, so that was a plus, but the payment was astronomical. So the only SFI people that I have seen come through were on new trucks. They were not used. So the two new trucks that I had, they did have a limit on the amount of miles they could do monthly. The truck payment was pretty high, somewhere in I want to say in the freaking probably threes or something like that, and not monthly, man. It was like astronomical. Like it was maybe even weekly. So it didn't last too long in that regard. It was just because of the amount of miles they were limiting for them, and anything past a certain miles, they were actually paying percent. They were paying whatever it was per mile to use that truck. So, Sean, are you looking for a truck with them, or what's your scenario? And then the other SFI truck was the same situation. So I do believe that the limitation on the miles is what kind of did it for the guys. Had they not had that and their teams and they can do it, and I think it was something like 10,000 miles or something crazy like that. So I mean maybe if you're solo, but for teams, I mean teams could easily do 6 a week, not a problem. Oh yeah, just looking for options. I know they do the no money down on there. I don't necessarily know. I don't necessarily know if if you're looking for just that, but just pay attention to what that actual payment is going to be on a weekly basis. That's going to be the determining factor. So I'm not saying use the loan mountain or nothing like that, but check them out because I do like the concept of their monthly payment, and it's never over $2,000, obviously, unless you're buying a brand new truck. But if you take a look at them, you'll kind of get an idea of where it should be because imagine that, man, like 3,000 a week for a new truck, man. Cats plus the miles if they're going over on a monthly basis. It's and you still have to factor in, man. Like remember, it's not just that one payment. Like even the low mountain, right? The reason I think they target that about 1,500 ish, because you still got physical damage, you still got plates, you still got bobtail insurance, you still got maintenance reserve. So there are still additional fixed costs that have to add on to that payment. So you probably want to be about that 2,000. Um, you know, yeah, and you got to be careful because well, I don't want to say be careful because to the comment, they do charge you for moving the truck. That does drum up my memory. We had an individual who had a SFI truck, and he was looking to move it. Everything seemed pretty reasonable, but they were going to charge him like 13K to move the truck, some crazy ass number like that. And again, I didn't see the paperwork. This is the guy telling me, but I happen to know that they do charge something. I just don't know what exactly it was, but it's a heavy enough number for you not to move the truck. So I guess when you go to the first carrier, whoever you told them, hey, here's my letter of intent. This is who I'm going to be riding with. Um, their strategy behind it is you should be giving these people an opportunity for it to be successful. What they don't want is a guy to get into this job hopping. So I think what they're forcing the hand is forcing consistency from an individual, and the reason they're doing that is because I believe we all know the turnover in this industry is fucking 120% easy. So as you have this turnover, they're not even giving that fair opportunity. And what happens to SFI is in that every time you jump from one carrier to the other, everybody is losing money. And it doesn't matter how you look at it. Carrier loses money, owner operator loses money. SFI ain't getting paid because there's nowhere to pull from. So that's what's transpiring, and what they're trying to do is just embed that consistency in it. And so that's one way that they can do it. Other places just make an adjustment on the interest rate. So you might go from something that's very reasonable to like a crazy ass, 20 something percent, fucking looks like a credit card percentage. And the reason they're doing that is they're trying to deter you from actually becoming a job hopper, and they don't want to repossess. That's not what they're in the business for, right? They don't want that asset back. So do focus on that. If you are planning on making a move, how important is that to you, Sean? You definitely want to pay attention to that and know what the regulations are. Not that you're going to be job hopping, but in the event you had to make a decision, at what cost does it come to you? At what price? So these are kind of the things that you do want to be looking at. All right. So do pay attention to that. It's that's a valuable question. That's why we tell a lot of guys, do not jump on those carrier offered lease programs. Like, they are not written in your favor. They're not going to allow you to move the truck. It doesn't matter if you're paying for it. It is not yours. Like, you're going to be held hostage to their freight, to their work. You're not going to be able to do that. So is that actually an investment, or what? Ask yourself, what exactly are you doing? So part of the advice that we've given some individuals, so guy didn't have enough money for that down payment. So we're like, and just trying to do a lease to purchase in order to save for the down payment to be able to then go get his own truck. I have seen that happen from a very, very disciplined individual. The other thing that you got to focus on is it easier to stay where you are as a company driver, right, for a little bit more, but with a game plan, with a strict, disciplined plan that you're going to stack this down payment And then once you have it, now you got the freedom of choice. Now you got that purchasing power to be able to go do it your way, right? So now whether it's the low mountain, whether it's going to be like my man here with SFI, whether it's going to be Pedigree. One of the trucks we're onboarding today is actually, he got it from Pedigree, and that he's not the first guy. I think I think those are old Prime trucks, if I'm not mistaken. So they got some programs like 7,500 down. So now they match up to that. So if you had 7,000, now you got 14 for that down payment. So there are those programs that exist out there. You just got to research them a little bit, and you do have to have something in your pocket. You don't have to, this industry does. I want to say, man, it is a low barrier to entry. You don't have to have $20,000, $25,000 in your pocket for that down payment. And again, who the fuck has that? Like, how real is that? And I'm sure people do. But I'm talking majority, do a lot of people. You want to become that guy that can see that bank account 20 G's in their shit. That's why we do this in the first place, isn't it? But it's just a matter of getting there, right? And so picking the journey on how to get there, again, the only thing I'm saying is before you sign for any carrier offered lease to purchase program, just read the fine print, man, sleep on it. Make sure that's, sleep on it 2 days at least, because I don't think it's going to be in your favor. So just be careful with that out there. Don't fall victim to that. There are plenty of other programs that are out there. I know LRM. I've had a couple of trucks from LRM. They did all right by those individuals. Did some of the trucks break down? Yes. But I don't know if it's just, I don't know if it's the product they have or sometimes, it's the maintenance that a guy keeps on that truck. Is he doing the preventive maintenance? Is he taking care of it? Is he handling that? And that can cause a lot of those other breakdowns. So, and remember, when it does cause those breakdowns, these trucks go back. And so when you have that vicious cycle from a carrier, because, the guys weren't, you don't actually want to be the guy that's picking that truck up, and now all those problems are yours. So just pay attention. For you to be successful, you got to do the homework up front. Just pay attention to that fine print, have some discipline and patience, and know your capacity and capability, so that you can have the best possible outcome for yourself. Guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe, smash that like button. Helps the algorithm get this in front of the right people. All right. So in addition to all of that, like I said, we do have that fast track approval process for our owner operators. It's about getting you under a load as quick as possible. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because of exactly the guy that's in orientation. I think he picked up this. Where did he pick up this truck, man? Off the top of my head, forget, but we're talking at least 1,400 miles away. So here we go. So as he's making his journey here, everything was done on the back office. So the minute he was doing the closing on the truck, we're actually grabbing all that information, and we're working our magic on our end so that when orientation comes, it's from 9 to 3, and he's going to turn and burn. He's actually going to be under a load by the end of the day, and that's what it's about. So new truck to him, but he gets this ability to get cash flow going to his business right away. No time wasted. Once you buy that truck, guys, do not waste any more time. Do not take that truck home to wash it, set it, put it in the driveway. Like, you want to be in orientation as quick as possible. And I do have a comment here. Mike said, I'm sure that Cali driver was fast track. Yeah, you know what? I am too. But however, we operated a little bit different. It's not so much fast track with negligence. It is about being compliant. It is about, checking, crossing the T's and dotting the I's. So even though we do fast track, it's all within compliance. It is about efficiency and doing, having the right people in place to do their job properly. So yeah, I guess that it could sound bad. Yeah, for sure. But I'm definitely not doing that. Don't want to get caught up in any of that. So pay attention to that. So even if you're doing that SFI, man, if you do decide before you pick up that truck, make sure that you actually have a place that you're going to take that bad boy, and get under a load as quick as possible. So even our guy, we got a pretty sweet plate program. He'll be jumping on our plate program. His decision to do that was because he didn't want to burn any more time waiting for his plate. So that's part of the fast track that we're kind of talking about here. Pardon me. And in that fast track program, it's also you getting to this place that you're able to earn for your business as quick as possible. So again, guys, do pay attention to that, because everything, as soon as you pick up that truck, everything starts ticking, right? You got insurance, that's ticking. You're gonna have the truck payment, that's coming. Your finances, you ponied up some money, so now you gotta rebuild that reserve, right? So you're against the clock on that. Plates, permits, all of that costs money to get the party started. So you want to make sure that you're getting, you're linking up with the right carrier. That's what we do best. We know how to move in that environment. So if you are that first time owner operator looking for that opportunity, but just quite can't get the answers that you're looking for, do give us a call at 863-342-5171. Leverage our resources, and so you can educate yourself exactly on how to navigate through that, so you can do it as quick and as efficient as possible. All right. So, and if also you're a seasoned individual, also give us a call at 863-342-5171. So if you're a seasoned owner operator, just looking to elevate, looking to improve your situation because your dispatchers are not hitting, ours could definitely go to bat for you and hit that home run. So 863-342-5171. Do give us a call as well. All right. So as we're creeping up towards the end of the show, we do welcome any comments while we're here. We could definitely answer them here, and we go. So does anybody have anything else they could share with Sean? Please let him know. Is there any other place that possibly has at least a purchase third party other than SFI that may be of value, so my guy can actually research that and possibly explore some options that he may not know of. So do let us know. Put that in the comments. Aside from that, do check out that Low Mountain. Check out their inventory, and just be careful on the mileage. That's what we were talking about the other day. Is a lot of that mileage, man, is getting on the higher end. So I was shocked to see how quick that shifted. I mean, a few weeks ago you were able to see anything under 400,000 miles. I think right now that's going to be more of a rare commodity. So we got a comment here. What do you think will happen to that Cali guy? I think they're gonna throw everything at this guy, man. They're gonna throw the book at this guy. He's gonna be a poster boy. Not just that, man. It's do I think the Cali guy will continue? So, man. So this I don't know, man. This guy they're gonna throw everything at this guy, man. Definitely charges of fucking probably that manslaughter is coming at him, and man, vehicular man, like this guy's cooked, man. Especially not that just that, like even if this ends up in front of 12 people, like just think about that, man. Like, so all this shit, whatever, insurance verdicts, all that, just this guy's gonna stand in front of 12 people. What do you think happens there? What do you think 12 people are gonna say? Especially the influence with social media, right? So it just opinions just like, how is that going? Is it even a fair trial? Like, it's people already decided, like, just call a spade. Like, just anybody's gonna go watch this video, you already fucking know. Everybody already made a decision. So, and it's exactly that, man. Like, even in the financial verdict, right? Like, this is a nuclear verdict right now. Like right now, just somebody sees this video and it's a nuclear verdict right now. So just imagine that you have different opinions that are out there. You have different points of view of what transpires. Like, so definitely nothing good, but I do think that this is going to set forth more regulations. faster, like implemented faster, sooner than later, at whatever cost, whether the cost is on the carrier, whether the cost is on the owner operator, whether the cost is on whoever, doesn't matter. They're just gonna, as quick as possible, let's get more regulation out there to these individuals. Not necessarily saying that there's bad regulation coming. I'm just saying that, what about this over regulation that exists, and how fast can that go? How fast does it get to this point where we can't even manage anything? So, it's just going to drum out a lot of people that are doing good business practices. That's what happens. That's the collateral damage to a lot of that. There are a lot of companies that aren't in these positions, aren't doing these kind of things. But when you overregulate, and now insurance premiums are skyrocketed because of shit like this, everybody's paying up. It's not just these guys. So imagine, and it's kind of crazy because, like, let's say an insurance hike on everybody across the board. What was the talk of it? Change it to $2 million minimum on the liability. All right. So you do that. Who's going to afford that? The guys that do shit like this. That's who's going to afford that. You know what I mean? That's who's definitely going to afford that. So guys that are always, cooking the books, as they say, they're doing that. You're running this. You're just not paying attention to hours of service, this and that. Yeah, even brokers, right? Even the brokers that are giving these guys the loads, because they know, how the fuck you giving somebody 1,000-mile same day delivery and they're not teams, right? So everybody's doing that. I think the hammer's going to drop on a lot of that. But again, just raising the the minimum to 2 million. What's that going to do to solve these kind of problems? It just makes it more expensive for the good guys that are out there trying to do good business practices, and they're just making it that much more difficult for the good players to stay into the game. White hat carriers can't run any leaner already. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. So that's the collateral damage to this. That's what hurts about this too. Like, I mean, obviously there's fatality in this, and I mean, people lost their lives, and that's no joke, man. That's a sad day for a lot of people. Lives are changed and all of that, but then aside from that, it's when we're talking these regulations and regulations, you're also talking about that. Like, how can a white hat carrier actually, sustain heavy regulations and even more regulations every day, something new, and you're actually fueling individuals like this because they're the only ones out on the road that can make it. So as white carriers go out of business and these guys still exist, that's the only way you can sustain certain premiums and certain costs that keep coming. And so are we really doing good, or are we amplifying a situation? So here we go. So that's my take on that. It's like this double-edged sword. It's cause and effect. A lot of people don't see the effect. A lot of people, they see the situation, but it also starts other things into fruition that a lot of people didn't see coming. So and again, even that, not a lot of people are thinking about the white cat carriers that are doing the right thing, right? Carl Former. They didn't run like this. Like, look it up, guys. Florida-based company, boom, out of business. Davis out of Stark, Florida, boom, another guy. Now these, nuclear verdicts. The guy to Stark, nothing even happened, but before it did, my man's out. So he's probably right now sitting in this chair, looking at shit like this and talking about, this is exactly why I got out, because he was like, every time my guy, one of my trucks is on a load, he has liability. He has liability out there. And so because of that is why he gracefully bowed out, just liquidated, and the guy bounced on the industry, because it gets tougher and tougher, man. Like, this does have a breaking point. The question is, where's it at? Is it what's going to break it? The rates, the regulation, definitely a shift, definitely a change. Interested in to see what happens. The only thing I know is I keep pushing, keep trucking, and keep moving forward. We need to do an evening video on white hat versus black hat and who will survive the burden. Yeah, that's a great topic. So we'll get that done for sure. Because that's what happens, man. Like, you the playing field, man, isn't fuck. And I get it, man. Like, life ain't fair. I understand that. I don't even want my money back. I know. Like, that ain't it, man. But it's but at the same time, man, you take a punch, fucking, you keep taking punches, and and so the industry is shifting. We'll see what happens. That's absolutely right. White hat versus black hat. Which one is better? Which one would you do? And what are the effects? So here we go, guys. So good talk. I appreciate it. As this show wraps up, I wanted to tell you guys, please be safe out there. Continue to earn. It is Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday. You will have to start planning for next week already. So make sure your dispatcher is pre-booking you for those Monday loads. I hope everybody is making their financial goals. And for those guys who are first-time owner operators looking for that opportunity and or information on how to get that bad boy done, do give us a call, 863-342-5171. All right, so Mike said, if you don't want your money back, I'll take yours and mine. All right, go for it, man. All right, so here we go, guys. So guys, it's about survival. It's about, about ingenuity, about, it's the long game for everybody. So keep that in mind. Let's keep your eye on the ball. Remember, it is a moving target, and what we will do from here is just keep pushing. Nothing else, nothing other to do but that. We keep fighting until we can, right? So see you at the top. All right, my people. Please be safe, drive safe. We'll see you soon. And please, actually, we're going to drop that video, so keep an eye out for it. White hat versus black hat, a different perspective on who's actually getting knocked out of the box and who's exiting the industry. Is it just the bad guys, or are a lot of good guys forced out because of overregulation? All right. There's obviously always a cost to do business. It just has to make sense, because at the end of the day, it is a business. All right, my people. So we will talk soon. Be safe out there, and see you mañana.